Hey, this is Ben Solomon, and welcome to this episode of the Techno Leadership Show. In this episode, I am going to be talking about something that's potentially controversial among technologists, engineers, and other technology professionals, which is the need to understand sales and persuasion. For many years in my career, I did not understand this aspect of business, of working in an organization, and why everyone needs to understand sales and persuasion. Even as a technologist, I was blessed to have had some exposure to sales because I had a friend who owned a computer store that I used to spend a lot of my free time at, mainly because we both loved chatting. I loved sitting there talking about various things, and in lieu of that, I got the opportunity to sit in his store, enjoying the air conditioning in the store during 98% humidity and 40-degree hot summer days in Chennai in India. So that was a trade-off. We enjoyed our conversations. We talked about a lot of different things. But the positive thing also was because he owned an electronics and computer store, a lot of customers came in to buy mobile phones and all that sort of thing. And he wasn't someone who was technology passionate as such. So he did not know why certain phones had certain features and what the benefits of those features were and all those sort of things. And initially, being someone who was technology obsessed, I knew the specs of the phones. I knew, all the features of the phones and what it could do and all that sort of thing. So these customers would come in and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm looking for that new." Back then, Nokia was the king of the jungle, so to speak, and Motorola was again probably one rung below that. Sony Ericsson used to be on top of the world as well. So they'd come and say, "Oh, I saw this new phone that was on TV. I'd like to buy that." But what's so special about it? Why is it so expensive? And so you go have a look at the box, and you can figure out if that's what you want. And then they'd be like, "Oh, but what does this do? What does that do?" So me, who was sitting on the side, I wasn't there as a salesperson. I was just there because I was chatting to the owner, and I'd sometimes interject and go, "Oh, look, it can do this, this, and this, and these are all the features in there, and all that sort of thing." And some people will be like, "Yeah, but what does it matter? Why do I need all those features?" sort of thing. And then I learned about the sharing the benefits of features. So I'd go, "Oh, look, having this means the phone is faster. Having that means you get to get some data on your phone. Having that whatever else feature means you can do this with your phone." And people go, "Oh, okay, so yep, that's why it's so expensive." And then they'll buy the phone and go. Same thing, there'd be others who wanted to build computers. I built my own computers back in the day. But there were others who were like, "Oh, look, I want to have that latest and greatest graphics card on my computer, but I also want to have the Pentium Core 2 Duo and all that sort of thing on in my new computer that I'm building." So we'd look at the owner. He didn't know all the specs and why there were different chips and all that sort of thing. And for me, I was like a geek about this. "Oh yeah, you should go this and this and this," and they'd be like, but the person who was coming into the store would be like, "But why? Like, this costs so much more than that." So then I had to translate that into benefits, saying, "Okay, you're looking at playing this game in this thing to make sure that you can play at this resolution with it being smooth then you need to have this because the processor in the graphics processor there does this and this, and the CPU does this to complement that, which is why you need to have the combination of the two, and then you need to have this much RAM in there so that it can do it. So all of those things had to be translated into normal terms, and that's where, like, from this is where I initially learned sales and persuasion, so to speak. And it wasn't something that I said I had to learn, and I didn't go read books about it or anything like that. It just happened in the field. And as an engineer, I was thinking more about features than benefits. So that was an education that happened unwittingly. And then after I moved to Australia, I had the opportunity to work in a retail sporting store for 2 years. And that again, I would look at shoes, love my sporting shoes. So I'd be like looking at it from a geeky perspective. Oh, this shoe's got this feature and things like that. But then we were trained there to show the benefits of each of those features. Why go for this series of shoes rather than that series of shoes because of your foot, how it lands on the ground and all those sort of aspects. So was able to work with clients and sell them shoes that were fairly expensive because I could understand their needs and match it up with what the shoes offered, but translate it in such a way that they could understand it in normal layperson terms. Similarly, when you're working as a technology professional, what you do and what you're passionate about, what you spend hours and hours during the day or the weekends learning and reading and all that sort of thing, doesn't make any sense to the common person. So understanding selling and understanding persuasion and influence means you can then translate it to terms that they care about. Sales is all about the other person. In every moment of your life, you're in a sales situation. So when you're in an interview, you're selling the fact that by giving you the job, they're taking some pain or stress away from them. So you always position that as your being something, your service would be something that takes a pain away and gives them in a way the ability to accomplish something that they want to accomplish or achieve a positive result. Similarly, like when you're putting in a proposal for funding of a project, if you say we need $500,000 to upgrade our infrastructure, they'd be like, yeah, so this is a cost. We don't want to spend that much money. Can't we do it cheaper? But when we understand what they want, i.e. stable systems, ensuring everything's secure, everything is running smoothly, that they can access the application that they use for a line of business, and it's responsive and all that sort of thing. Those are things that they care about. That's the terminology that they care about. So if you can translate everything into saying, hey, if we go for this, if we put in all this new infrastructure that we can put in, one, it's secure, which means all of our customer data is kept safe, all of our systems are kept safe, our business is protected against all this risks, and then it means that we have enough resources in the system to be able to ensure that the application that we use for a line of business works quickly and efficiently and effectively, which means then your staff in the front lines are able to process more work and be able to get more done, and thereby the business gains XYZ. So it could be like you're putting in $500,000 every 5 years, but the benefit is that you're making $50 million out of that investment because it supports all aspects of the business. And that's the kind of thing that you've got to do, translating why you want to spend that much money into what benefits the customer. And it happens in everything. When you're in a management or leadership position, when you're talking to someone in your team, you have to understand why they are even in that profession. Like there is something that brought them into that profession. And if there is a way for you to connect that desire with what needs to be accomplished in the business, it gives them fulfillment, and it also means the job gets done. And that's, I believe, the way we all need to operate, on fulfillment. And if we can work as coach leaders with our team members to ensure that they are fulfilled in the work that they do, and they can focus more and more on their highest leverage, then they enjoy work, and more of what needs to be done is done properly. So sales and persuasion is critical to every aspect of business. No matter what role you're in, no matter what kind of position, even if you're in a technology position, technology professional, even you have to translate things to management, to executive leadership, on why certain things need to be done. So you need to be able to persuade, you need to be able to influence, and you need to be able to get things sold, ideas sold. Especially in the technology and engineering profession, we need to sell concepts and ideas a lot. And understanding it from their perspective, whoever we are selling that idea to or concept to, means we can do it a lot more effectively. And that's what influence, persuasion, and sales is all about. So hopefully that helps you out. Hopefully that brings down the skepticism that a lot of technologists and engineers have around sales. And sales is not this scammy thing that it's made out to be. Real sales is about caring for the person that you're helping. It's a form of service. It's a form of helping others. And if you want to really understand that core service-oriented salesmanship, I would suggest listening to Jay Abraham, Jayabraham. He's got a website called abraham.com where he gives away a lot of his work. He has a philosophy called the philosophy of preeminence. Preeminence is being a leader to whoever you're selling to. So selling could be, you could be selling an idea to your executive leadership. You could be selling the fact that your team can solve an issue to an end client. You could be selling to a vendor the benefit of doing business with your business so that they give you a better price. All of that negotiation and all that is skills within that umbrella called sales and influence and persuasion. And I know as a culture we've been told sales is yucky, and it's been shown that way because of certain organizations and certain aura that's been created around things like used car salesman mentality, where they're trying to give you get as much as possible from you while giving you a crappy car sort of thing. True sales has got nothing to do with that scamminess. It's a service that you are providing to the person that you're selling to. You're finding out what they really want, and if you actually have what they want, you're just connecting what they want to what you have. That's it. That's all true sales is all about. So anyways, I hope that helps you out. I hope it clears some of the weeds that have been building up around the sales thing, and you can look at it as an honorable skill to have, honorable profession to be in if you're wanting to go into that, and you can do more good work and serve more people when you have the skills of being able to negotiate, persuade, and influence them in a positive manner. So I wish you all the best in your journey as a tech professional, manager, and leader. If you like this episode, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button so that you're notified of future episodes as they are released. I look forward to talking to you in a future episode. Take care and have a great day.